Nutty's all set and ready to go.
You're missing some people up here, I think.
Yeah, we got maybe missing a few people, aren't we?
Mayor.
Yep. We're missing the mayor. There he is. He's right there.
Oh!
Hey,
Mayor.
Oh, hey, how are you doing?
How are you?
Doing well? Good to see you.
Yeah, you're my girlfriend over there.
I met her before and her little bug eyes.
Yeah, great. Good.
All right.
All set? You ready to go?
Why don't we get going?
Yeah.
We'll get behind you over here. How are you doing?
I'm great. We're talking about tourism. We definitely want to talk about that. How was opening day? It's good. Yeah? I saw that.
My name is, there we go. My name is Christopher Gilchrist, and I am the Executive Director of the National Museum of the Great Lakes. Welcome to our facility, which includes the largest artifact in our collection, the Colonel James M. Schoonmaker Museum ship. You might have seen it when you came in. It's that 618-foot green wall. And our newest big artifact, the tug aptly named Ohio. It is a great honor for all of Toledo to have Governor Mike DeWine and First Lady Fran DeWine help us celebrate Ohio Tourism Day. His remarks here today are an important reminder of the critical role tourism plays in our state's economy. After also speaking with us today is Lydia Mahalik, Director of the State of Ohio's Development Services Agency, Lance Woodworth, Director of Destination Toledo, and of course, Toledo's Mayor Wade Kapsakevich. Our museum opened its doors in 2014 in Toledo. Since that time, hundreds of thousands of visitors from all 50 states and 17 countries have walked the decks of our museum ship. The sailors did 100 years ago. Children and adults alike have marveled at over 200 artifacts in our museum, which detail how Great Lakes have shaped the contours of American history these many, many, many years. Our guests have developed a profound connection to these historical experiences through our state-of-the-art interactive exhibits. Where else can you see the original haunting inflatable life raft from the Edmund Fitzgerald and then explore the shipwreck using computer-generated imagery in an interactive exhibit? You can here at the National Museum of the Great Lakes in Toledo, Ohio. But enough about our museum. As we in the travel and tourism industry eagerly anticipate a return to more normal times, I believe I speak for all of us when I say thank you, Governor DeWine, for your courageous effort to keep the state of Ohio safe, while at the same time preserving our economy and helping those in our industry navigate and survive the perfect storm of this past year. Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of the state of Ohio, Mike DeWine.
Well, Chris, thank you very much. Fran and I are delighted to be back. I was trying to think how many times we have been here. We brought grandkids here and really have enjoyed it. This is one of our kind of favorite places in the state. I was just, as we were coming in, I wrote down some of the places that Fran and I have visited with our kids and then with our grandkids in this part of the state. McGee Marsh, of course, Maumee Bay State Park, which is just absolutely phenomenal. I know the director, Mary Mertz, told me she was out looking at birds last weekend for a couple days there. The Ottawa National Wildlife Refuge, Lakeside daisies. If you look at the state map, you'll see the lakeside daisies are prominently displayed on our state map. Toledo Zoo I came to as a child. My family had a business up here, and when my dad came up here to work, I could spend the day at the zoo. So it was a lot of fun. The Art Museum, world renowned, and we could just go on and on. As Chris said, today is a day that we're taking to kind of kick off tourism in the state of Ohio. But there really is no season. A state that has the Football Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Museum, so many things in Ohio that are open throughout the year. We're coming out of this pandemic and coming out of it, I believe, strong. I think there's a real build-up desire for people in Ohio and frankly across the country to get back to normal. And getting back to normal means going out and enjoying what is in the state. Last year, the one thing that we saw a real increase in attendance was our state parks. We have 75 state parks free, and they're just absolutely magnificent. And you know, whether you want to do a primitive camping, you want to camp in a tent, which Fran and I have done. I haven't done it for a few years, but done it with our kids and with our grandkids. Or whether it is stay in a state lodge, such as Maumee, which is just absolutely magnificent. Whatever you want, it certainly is there in our state parks. So there's no part of the state really that where tourism has more of an economic impact than it does in our North Coast. With fishing and sailing and people just getting out and enjoying Lake Erie. So this place, Chris, as I came in, is also the place where we really launched H2 Ohio, when we pulled everybody together and announced exactly what we were going to do. And when you talk about Lake Erie, this is something that we are doing along with the legislature that it's going to take time, but we know it is working. It's working well, and it is there really to preserve this great Lake Erie. So, Lydia, I think you're next. You can tell them you head up a lot of different things in the state, but one of the things that you head up is tourism. Probably the fun thing that you do, at least. I know everything you do is fun, but why don't you tell them about kind of what our tourism plan? I'll give you a little preview. This is the first time, at least I'm aware, that we're really starting to make an effort to advertise Ohio beyond Ohio, out into other states, and this is just the beginning. We think we have something that is unique, that is just great. Ohio is not only a great place to visit, whether it's for a weekend or whether it's for a long vacation, but it's also, we think, the best place to raise a family, the best place to start a business, the best place just to enjoy it. It's an absolutely phenomenal state. So, Director?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Governor. And you know, we are very excited to be up here. I love being in Northwest Ohio. I mean, it's my home. It's where our family calls home, and we love having an opportunity to be able to showcase all of the incredible things that there are to do and see and be a part of up here in Toledo. And certainly, as we're celebrating Ohio's Tourism Day, it is great to be here. And as you mentioned, we are kicking off our summer tourism spot and our campaign. And I think we have it here to share with you this afternoon. It would be great if you would, so that we can kind of give you a flavor for the campaign ad that's going to start airing next Monday.
Hey, Grandpa, someday I'm going to touch the top of that tree.
Well, why stop there when you can touch the sky and create amazing things? You can touch hearts, expand minds, and imaginations. But no matter what you do, I want you to promise me one thing, that you will always reach for the top.
I promise, Grandpa.
If you can dream it, you can find it here.
And the $4 million regional campaign, as the governor mentioned, includes some digital and some social and some radio advertising. And this, as the governor mentioned, is really the first time since the pandemic occurred that Ohio is marketing outside of the state. And quite frankly, our timing couldn't be any better. You know, as the governor has mentioned, you know, our research tells us that 88% of American travelers are planning trips for the next 6 months. As more Americans and more Ohioans are getting vaccinated, they're planning to take a drive. And quite frankly, it makes Ohio an incredible option, which you all know. You know, there are a lot of really great experiences that are one-of-a-kind experiences here that you can only find in Ohio. And Ohioans and visitors have opportunities to experience attractions and be a part of special celebrations this year that can only be found here in our beloved state. The Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's an internationally recognized museum that gives fans a chance to experience football's past, its present, and obviously its future. This year, and the 2020 and 2021 enshrinement ceremonies for inductees takes place August 5th to the 9th. We have the John Glenn Centennial Celebration. It's a 3-day celebration this July in and around New Concord, Ohio. It commemorates John Glenn's life and his accomplishments. Activities include a 7-mile race, a parade, free museum tours, and a special guest appearance by former Ohio astronaut Don Thomas, who was inspired by John Glenn. There are some additional events that I know that our friends here in Toledo are jazzed up about. I know my family's excited, Mayor, to come up here and cheer on Team USA with the Solheim Cup at Inverness Club here in Toledo. They're going to host the best women golfers that the United States has to offer as they tee up against the ones from Europe for the prestigious team competition on August 31st to September 6th. Tickets, I'm told, are now on sale. And then, of course, a great tradition here in Toledo, the Marathon LPGA Classic, July 5th through the 11th. We have a ton of road trips and trails that have become very, very popular. You can plan those on ohio.org. The Ohio Find It Here team always compiles some exciting road trips for the entire family, and we've added a few new ones for 2021. In addition to the Ohio Professional Golf Trail, which the Solheim Cup and the Marathon Classic happen to be a part of, we also have road trips for the foodie in your family, the history buff, which we've talked about before, and new this year, Charming Towns and art. The Charming Towns road trip has 8 stops, including Kelly's Island and Geneva on the lake. I guess all of this to say, no matter what you're looking for, you can find it here in Ohio. We're crisscrossing the state to tell people all about it, and we're really excited to be here in Toledo to talk with you today. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Kapsakevich. He does a wonderful job up here. We're really proud to be celebrating Ohio tourism with him today. So, Mayor, you're up.
Thanks, Mayor.
I'm going to take off my Solheim Cup mask to give my remarks. On behalf of the citizens of Toledo, I'd like to welcome the governor and his team up to our city on Ohio Tourism Day. It's always a pleasure to see the governor, always a pleasure to see the First Lady, though it's more of a pleasure when she has those Buckeye brownies. Though, as you can see, I've eaten too many over the years. And it is a wonderful treat for me to see Lydia Mahalik again. She was the mayor of Findlay, and we knew we wouldn't be able to keep her in the sort of college of mayors long because she is so talented. It was just a matter of time before she was called to higher office. She's very talented and probably the best dancer in this room, but we don't know when. There are some dance clubs. When it comes to tourism, Toledo has its share of hip clubs that Lydia would do a great job.
We didn't know.
I'll just see. Mayors know things.
No matter what you're looking for, Mayor, you can
Mayors
find it
know
here.
things about each other and about so. I'll simply say that Toledo is it is a wonderful mid-sized town with world-class amenities and the sorts of amenities and attractions that attract people into our community in a way that tourism celebrates. I see our friend Muddy the Mud Hen over here. Governor probably doesn't know this, but 30 years ago this summer, for a college job, I was Muddy the Mud Hen. And you all can conclude whether I'm a bigger clown now or then. But we love the Mud Hens. And in fact, it was in 2018, our 2 minor league teams, the Walleye and The Mud Hens were the reason that we were ranked the #1 minor league market in the country. I see Bob Vasquez from the zoo here. My eyesight is poor, so I'm going to leave someone out here, but we don't just have any old zoo. We have the best zoo in the country. And don't take my word for it. That was according to USA Today. In 2016, I believe, the Toledo Zoo was ranked the very best in the country. I was born in San Diego, and I had well, we moved to Ohio for the weather. My family did. But I was raised to understand that San Diego Zoo is the best in the country. Turns out not true. The Toledo Zoo is the best in the country. The museum, we probably have a top 15 museum in the country. We got some good things here in Toledo, and it's just part of the tapestry of options that folks can enjoy, whether they live here or visit. So many people have worked to put Toledo in a position to benefit from tourism. As I go around the room, I do see Barb Peaty and Holly Bristol from ProMedica who are here. The role that ProMedica has played, frankly, in our community, investing not tens of millions, but hundreds of millions of dollars into beautifying the riverfront, which is a key attraction for investment. They're leading the charge to build a Jeep museum in this community. Be very similar to the Harley-Davidson Museum in Milwaukee, and others that we think can bring about 500,000 visitors per year, every year into our community. That wouldn't be possible without ProMedica, and I guess since it is the biggest event this year, we make reference to the Solheim Cup, that will be the largest event that has come to Toledo since 1993. Numerically and financially, when the U.S. Open came to Inverness in 1993, we probably haven't had an event like that since. It'll bring 200,000 people to our community, 20 or 30,000 tourists from Europe. That too wouldn't have happened without ProMedica. And I suppose the final part of that weekend, let's not forget Gwen Stefani is kicking off that week. Well, I would like, I could get you up on stage maybe. You know, I got some pull. I'll introduce you to, what's his name, Blake something?
I think that's
okay, all right. No, that's going to be such a great weekend. And again, ProMedica was the sponsor of this. So just so many partners, but probably none more than Toledo's largest employer in terms of putting us in a position to succeed. So we're happy to be a part of this. I want to, I suppose, leave the governor with a pin, 2 pins. One is the Solheim Cup pin, because this is the biggest event that's come to Toledo in about 30 years, and you might enjoy this as well. This is our Rosie the Riveter vaccine. You see, Rosie, she's not.
I like it. I like it.
She got her shot, I guess is what I'm saying. So when you've been double vaccinated, you wear the Rosie the Riveter pin. And of course, we need to get vaccinated to enjoy all the wonderful amenities that tourism has in Ohio. So again, welcome to Toledo. Thank you for making us a part of your visit.
Good. Last destination, Toledo.
Yeah. So we also have, here we go, Lance Woodworth is the director of Destination Toledo, which is the spearhead organization in this region's effort to attract visitors to Northwest Ohio. When Lance was appointed to this position, I could not have been happier because I knew about his previous life, which was spent working neck deep in serving millions of people who have come to Ohio to experience Lake Erie. He knows what a tourist wants and he knows what a tourist needs, and he is a great addition to the team that will bring millions over the next years to Toledo. Lance?
Thank you, Chris, and I'll take my Solheim mask off here as well. Governor, we were actually in the State House today. Becky Newell, director of the Solheim Cup, she's in the back there. 6:45, we were brought into the State House. We set a putting green up. We were on Good Day Columbus with Cam, pushing Solheim and pushing all the great things that are going on up here in Toledo. I can keep my folder closed. You guys covered off all the great bullet points that I had to talk about, so I'll just take some pictures, I guess. You know, as we sit here and we think about, what travel and tourism is, especially here on Ohio Tourism Day and part of the National Tourism Week, why do we do this? What we want to do, we want to welcome people into our destinations. We want to give them an opportunity to create memories that will last a lifetime. And that's really, why we have the attractions and why we do what we do. And we want those people to come back year after year and create traditions. You know, the tradition of going to the zoo. I can speak to the zoo. I'm a father of 4, 10 months old to 10 years old, and we create lifelong memories at the zoo. Just renewed my season pass for that. But that's why we do what we do. In Toledo, we welcome in 2019, looking at those numbers, 14.5 million guests that contributed $2.5 billion to the economy. And they support 23,000 jobs. So it's big business. I know it's part of a $48 billion state economy, but where we sit as a border town, we're in a unique position to where we can use our attractions, our events, and all these great experiences that we have as leverage, and we'll draw people down from Michigan. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I don't care for Michigan too much, but I'll bring their money down. I want their money in the state of Ohio. So we'll use that. We've got some big events this year, the Marathon Classic, of course, Solheim. Solheim took 2 years or more planning here locally. It's so much collaboration at a local level, a regional level, and a state level. And the state of Ohio got behind the Solheim Cup 100%. I'd like to thank you, Governor, Director Mahalik, for what you've done, making this just a great event here. We're going to drive hopefully about 150,000 people over that week-long period, and we should drive about $30 million in economic impact. It is desperately needed. Our businesses, our partners need that injection into the economy right now. I saw Lake Erie Shores and Islands Director Larry Fletcher in the back, and you had mentioned the lake shore and bringing everything together. Larry and I work and we collaborate on a lot of different initiatives. How can we combine the attractions that we have in Toledo all the way over to Cedar Point, everything in between, Lake Erie Islands, put a bow on it and use that as leverage to bring more guests to town. Leisure markets, business travel, we are in a prime position. 2019 was a record year. Those building blocks, the foundation is still there that we can build upon for success. So, Governor, use travel and tourism as an economic driver, tool in the toolbox. We're here to support you. We appreciate your support. And thank you. Welcome to Toledo. Happy Ohio Tourism Day.
Thank you very much.
Before we open up for questions, I just wanted to make some quick remarks. As we all plan to bring back visitors in person to our facilities, it's easy to get caught up in the immediate task of planning a successful season for this summer. But I would remind everyone here today that the future of the east bank of the Maumee River holds so much promise as a tourist destination. That promise is made possible in large measure because of the incredible experience imagined and being developed by the Toledo Metro Parks on the 70 acres of adjacent property to us. We look forward to working with our new neighbors as they make this property not only an asset for the local population, but the premier park destination for tourists from all over the Midwest. And I believe Davis from the Metro Parks is here as well. So thank you to the Metro Parks for continuing to make this property from the Martin Luther King Bridge all the way to the 280 Bridge really the downtown destination, and certainly a great thing for East Toledo. So I will open it up for questions for the governor and
or for anybody else.
For anybody else.
Anybody?
So obviously the numbers here for Lucas County are very high when it comes to COVID. Do you think that will be an issue for the tourism this year?
Well, we're in a situation now where we have a lifesaver. We have the ability to be on offense against this virus. As of today, we have better than 50% of the adults in the state who have been vaccinated. We have about 41% of the total population. Within a few days, it will open up, we believe, for 12-year-olds and above to be vaccinated. So another opportunity. We're working with local health departments. We're working with schools to provide opportunities for parents who want their child to be vaccinated for that to actually occur. So a lot of good things going on. What the mayor has done, what the county has done, very, very, very good grassroots work. Because when we're talking about the vaccine today, we're at a different stage. And we're at the stage now where we really have to make it as convenient. We try to make it convenient from the beginning. Initially we had close to 700 locations around the state. We now have close to 2,000 locations around the state where people can get the vaccine. but taking it out literally into neighborhoods, literally in mobile vans. Opening it up, as you have seen done in the last week or so, for anyone who wants to walk in. There's some people who just didn't want to, either couldn't navigate and get an appointment, or didn't want to do that. But opening it up now so somebody can see it on TV, they can hear it on the radio, they can see it in the newspaper, and they say, okay, I want to go get my shot, and we'll get it today. And people have the ability to do that. So Mayor's done a great job, his team have done a great job, and we are very excited about where we are. So anybody who wants this vaccine can get it. And 2 weeks after they get that second dose of Moderna or Pfizer, or 2 weeks after they get the Johnson & Johnson first dose of that, the dose of that, you know, they're liberated. Fran and I have been in, I don't know, 35, 36, 37 different vaccination locations here in Ohio. And the common theme when you talk to people who are being vaccinated is freedom. And they all have plans. And sometimes it's very personal. I want to go see my grandkids. I want to see my grandmother. Sometimes it's I want to take a trip. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to go to a ball game. You know, I want to go to Mud Hens. Whatever is your passion. And so I think that this summer is going to be fundamentally different than what we've seen in the past. This summer we're back to normal, and frankly it would not surprise me if we didn't see more tourism this summer than we've ever seen before, simply because of the built-up desire for people to get out. And they can do that. Once they get vaccinated, you know, they've got the freedom to do that, and they, you know, really don't have to worry.
Governor, speaking about freedom and of course tourism, you know, there are still restrictions, so we can go to these places, but there are still capacity limits and whatnot. You had mentioned instead of the 50 per 100,000 for 2 weeks, maybe doing reaching a certain percentage of vaccinations. Can you shed any more insight on that? Well,
as you know, the vaccinations have really slowed down, and we're grinding this out, and we continue to, you know, work. Today we had, I think, 22,000. From yesterday, we had about double that for second doses. So we're moving, we continue to move, but we're not moving at as high a rate as certainly we would like. So it's our obligation to continue to make that available, do everything we can to make that available. But if you look at the cases are going down, and you know, they're going down at a pretty good clip now. So we don't know that that has settled in, but you know, we're seeing these numbers go down, and so the goal of 50 seems to me still a reachable goal. It seems to me the right goal. The difficulty with coming up with a percentage of people vaccinated, and you can certainly do that. Some states, Kentucky, for example, has done that. The difficulty with that is we really don't know at what point you get herd immunity, if you get it. But what we do know, and I think we need to stick with what we know that every time someone gets vaccinated, every single time someone, it's like putting money in the bank for not just that person, but for all of us. Because we know that that person over the next several weeks will increase their ability to go out and do things that they want to do. So I think that when you see more and more people vaccinated, that is what is driving this virus down. Even though it is a very aggressive variant that they're telling us is 40 to 50, maybe even 60% more contagious, it sticks more. Even though that is true, and it's in Ohio, the fact that we've already removed 40%, almost 41% of the people who basically are not going to get it and are not going to be able to spread it. So I think we just stay on course, but this summer is going to be good. When people are planning for the summer, you know, you get that vaccination, you're going to have a great summer.
Has there been any discussion of any incentive to get people to be vaccinated and reach herd immunity?
Well, yeah, we've had a lot of discussion about that. And, you know, if I knew what would work, we would probably do it. We've talked about, you know, we've seen what some other states have done, beer, shots for a shot, You know, we've even talked about setting up a kind of a lottery, and you know, we haven't done it, but you know, we're looking for ideas. So if anybody's got ideas, because look, it is our ticket back, and it's not just a ticket back for individuals. It's the ticket back for society. It's the ticket back for the state of Ohio. And the more people that get vaccinated, the more other people are going to feel safe. There still are people who, because of their medical condition, can't at this point get vaccinated. You could have someone who is going through some treatment and the doctor says, no, you really shouldn't get this. So we need to protect them. We need to protect children who generally don't get very sick, but you could have a child who has very significant medical problems. Today they can't get it. Now we think in the next few days those 12 and over will be able to get it. We hope that by this fall it's going to be open up basically to virtually everybody. But there's still people out there that we really need to protect, and we need to protect their families. So it's important for everyone just to keep getting vaccinated. Anybody else?
I'll take another if you don't mind. And then earlier
Sure.
today, county leaders had held a press conference talking about, you know, you had mentioned Lake Erie, and obviously that's a big part of our tourism here. I guess there were new, and forgive me, I don't know the details, I didn't sit on it, but there were new permits for farms that have the CAFOs running out into the, contributing basically to the algal blooms, is what they say. That was given by the Ohio Department of Agriculture, those permits. Basically asking if you were aware of that and kind of how that affects the H2 Ohio initiative.
Yeah, I can't comment. I don't know the particulars of that, but what I will say is that when this pandemic hit, and we'd already set up H2 Ohio, and we'd already had understandings with farmers in regard to a massive amount of acreage. And frankly, my team came to me and said, can we still afford to do this? We don't know what the pandemic is going to hold. And my answer was, we have to do it. We're going to keep our commitment to those farmers. They said they would follow these basic practices, and because they were going to follow these basic practices, we will help them financially. This is a 10-year program. We were not going to fall behind, so we are very, very committed to H2 Ohio. It's something that will work. We have this absolutely unbelievable gem in Lake Erie, and we need to respect it, and we need to take care of it. So that will always be the goal and what we will do in this administration. So, anybody else? Okay, well, we have a lot of groups represented in back. You know, tourism is just, you know, very important. It's important to the state of Ohio, but it's probably more important to our North Coast than it is to any place else really in the state. It is a place for us to have fun, and a place that really significantly helps our economy. So Fran and I started at home. Today we were at a place in the Miami Valley, the Clifton Mill. We went from there to Findlay, and from here we're going to Cleveland. But many places that we could be because there's so many things, so many wonderful things to see in the state of Ohio. So thanks everybody. Appreciate it.
Oh, come on.